This gets me going. As we're ending the show, we'll say that this is Brent Billings. He's one of my good friends for 45 years. 40 years of original music. Hey everybody, I'm Kenny Schofield, this is Chris Counts, and this is the American Car Classics Radio Podcast. We're coming to you live from Ford's Garage. Today we've got Tony, he's the garage partner. We've got George, who is the district partner. We've got Tony Rodriguez, who's in charge of the car show stuff. Joe Rodriguez. I'm going to be all just kind of getting together for the first time because we're here to say welcome to the class. I appreciate it so much, Chris. We all good. Like I said, we're here from Sierra. We're in Melbourne, Florida. Yeah, we're at
5480 Lake Andrew Drive.
Lake Andrew Drive. Tony knows more than I do, but he should. He runs this damn joint. So we want to say thank you to Ford's Garage and everybody that's with it, George and everybody for letting us come in and try to do this. Chris, you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm born ready.
We're going to do
our first field trip.
Yeah, it is our first field trip. And we said before the show lit up, our bus didn't catch on fire. That's a good thing.
No, it didn't. We're a little later than we wanted to be, but
yeah.
Hey, better late than never.
Yeah, we wanted to get going around 6 o'clock.
That's
a little bit out the window, crumble it up, throw it out. We're gone. Timesheet's
Hey,
gone.
we're car guys. We're not technical
That's
PA
right.
guys.
We are going to be
my job.
We are going to be sampling some food that's going to be coming out courtesy of Ford's Garage and everybody here. And so as that food rolls out, because we're a little bit behind, it's going to come a little sooner than that. So we're going to change it up a little bit.
I'm looking forward to it.
I had spaghetti at like 3 o'clock, so I'm good to go.
I've been sitting in this restaurant for like an hour and a half, just seeing everybody enjoy their food.
And good, doesn't
man,
it?
it does. It smells good. It looks good.
I was shaking some babies and kissing some hands and smelling some plates and everything. It was a lot of fun. So let's get right into this. I'm going to start off with Tony. Tony, you're going to tell us a little bit about what the hell is Ford's Garage?
All right, man, sounds good. So Ford's Garage, I mean, it is your typical, but not typical, right? It's very extraordinary, actually, okay? We're about something unique. We're about something different, but we're an American cuisine. Been around since 2012. The first one opened up in Fort Myers, Florida, so not far away. And it's just been an exciting journey, you know, opening up this restaurant here in Vieira. I got a great team here that cares so much. They're such a pleasure to work with. And when you get a group of people like this that just really are passionate and care about the food as much as my team does, it makes the job so much more fun. And it doesn't even become a job at that point. I mean, it's just part of just coming to your daily routine.
You like coming to work every day?
Oh, man, I love it.
Wow.
I love it.
Who doesn't like going to the garage?
Exactly. And that's what we say, too. We say, welcome to the garage.
Yeah, when we first, and we said the garage, and it just rolled out, and that's how it was. You actually said, because your garage, your kitchen is open up, that's Gasoline Alley?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
I see the one sign says assembly line.
Assembly line.
Which is what we have in the back. That's where all the magic happens in the kitchen,
right?
But no, we've got some fantastic food. We're known for our burgers, right? With a Ford's stamp burger bun. You guys will get a chance to see that soon.
Right.
Been there, had it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
We got these really cool hose clamps on all of our shop towels that we roll up our silverware in for guests. I mean, everything is covered here at the garage. You know, the details in what we do is what really sets us apart. It's a differentiator for us as a brand. And then when you come into our restaurants, you feel the energy, right?
Yeah.
And I just don't feel it. I don't know about you guys, but I go into a lot of restaurants and they just lack energy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Even like the detail, even in the bathroom, which I thought was super cool. Like they have a gas pump hose to wash your hands. You got to turn the lever.
I didn't see the lever. I was trying to turn the black knob on top of it.
And the sink is a tire.
Got to do that a lot. So we got to get some directions in there for you guys. But
but you opened this restaurant just over 6 months ago.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And George, tell me your expectations. Where you wanted to be, above where you wanted to be.
No, I mean, Tony and this team, they've exceeded expectations in the fullest, right? So we came in here thinking that, hey, this is just going to be another typical open, which is great. All of our Ford's garages are great, but Tony has just gone above and beyond the line of duty, that things that we have asked for him. I mean, look, we're sitting right here in the middle of the restaurant on live stream on YouTube, and that's just absolutely amazing.
I think that when we walked in here, Tian and I have been to 4 different Ford garages in Florida. And I think when we walked in, we noticed something about the vibe. It started at the front door. What happens at the front door? You're met with somebody that's going to either make the night or just kind of follow you to a table and let you know. It was excitement right off. Happy to see us. Welcomed us in like we were going to Christmas party. So it's just really good.
Yeah, we could talk about setting the vibe with the music, the atmosphere, and the energy, but the people, that's where the vibe's going to start, with, right?
Absolutely.
You walk in, you see those smiling faces, you see people walking around just, just happy to be here. That's where the vibe comes
And this is not a sports bar, but you've got TVs throughout playing something, doing something, but it's not a sports bar.
No. People think we are sometimes. I'll tell you, it was challenging at times during football season because we got asked a lot of questions about turning this TV on and turning that TV on. And, we had to be the bearer of bad news, unfortunately, to say, hey, listen, unfortunately, it's just blacked out. We can't get that channel. We wish we could. But these are the channels that we have the game on, so please enjoy. And it was just, we're not a sports bar, but we hope you'll find something that you'll enjoy.
Right.
Because that's what we're trying to be.
This is man, am I downplaying it by saying it's a high-end burger joint?
No, you're not downplaying.
Because it is quality food, but the menu, now it's exotic. It's simple with an exotic twist.
I mean, we just use high-quality products, and that's really what it comes down to. We have some great cooks in the back that, get a chance to use these things every day in their cooking procedures. We've got the right cooking equipment back there. Everything we do is systemic, right? It's got times. It's just everything we do comes together. We use a kitchen display system, so every cook back there is doing and focusing on their own job. And to think about that in an assembly line, right? That's exactly what we're trying to accomplish back there. Things come out right. It gets put on a tray, it gets out to the line and out to our guests, and they get to enjoy some great stuff.
Hey, Tony, I have a question for you.
Shoot, man.
Do we get to try the Sheriff Ivy burger?
I'm glad you brought that up. I thought about having Ivy's burger out tonight. It's a fantastic burger, a Ford signature burger, but I got something a little different for y'all.
Okay.
I wanted to bring out something a little different, and I'm not going to steal Mike's thunder because he's going to get to want to talk about it, but I think you'll like the estate. I think you'll like this burger. I almost slipped already. Look, I almost said it. It's rolling off my tongue.
Before we get into the topic of the day, we do have a topic of the day, as we always do, and it's restoration failures and pitfalls. So you guys that are looking to restore cars and stuff like that, we do have some tips and tricks for people who've done it and do it a lot. But before that, we got Joe over here, and we got to give Joe his light from Space Coast Cars and Motorcycles. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your organization there, Joe.
So we started maybe in 2013 in Vieira High School. We moved around. We did Urban Prime. We did Thrifty. Now Ford's Garage. The difference with our car shows, we have the prayer at the beginning and national anthem, God and Country.
It's what it takes to make it start off.
Amen to that. Amen to that. I'd like to tell you a little bit about my what happened to me.
Yeah, short bit on it.
A short bit. So I had a stroke in 2020.
Yeah.
And I was driving my car, and my son was driving his car, and his car started overheating for some reason. And then I opened up his hood, and that's when I had a stroke. I wasn't driving.
Oh, wow.
Praise the Lord for that.
God saved me.
Wow,
Amen.
Pulled you off the road.
And pulled me over to check under the hood that I wasn't driving.
Wow, that's amazing.
I mean,
divine intervention.
Crazy story
Absolutely.
that I had.
And you've recovered so well.
Yeah, you
which
look
is absolutely amazing. You look great. You speak well. You walk around. And you said earlier that they didn't think you would ever walk again.
No, they said I was going to be in a walker for the rest of my life, and I proved them wrong.
Yep.
Good for you. Thank God.
Amen to that. Yep.
Amen.
And I had to learn how to drive again. I had to learn how to talk again. I had to learn how to walk again. All that.
So how did you get affiliated with Ford's Garage and Tony and George? Well, you just met George and doing car shows. How did that come about?
So my friend introduced me to him, Trey from Fairway Cigars, to introduce him to him, and we kicked it off. And
he's a likable guy.
I love him. I love him.
Yeah.
No, listen. He's not telling the whole story. It was more like, hey, I went to Trey and I said, hey, who's the man? Who's the person I need to find out who's doing these car shows? And everybody said Joe Rodriguez. And I was like, where's he at?
Love it.
Thank you, Tony.
Joe's the man.
Love it. So you have a car show coming up here.
Yes,
this
we
will
have
be the second one that you've done. The
Yep.
first one was exclusively Ford's only,
Ford's only.
and that was backed by.
December 15th.
That was
we
backed
had,
by
Coco Ford.
Coco
was the,
Ford.
Was the,
We
was
want to
the
give a
title
shout out
sponsor.
to them as well, right? So tell us about what's coming up here on the 23rd.
The second car show, we have all cars available, all vehicles. It's not only Fords. We're going to have from 8 to 10:30, and then after 10:30, the store opens. And we're going to have vendors like Redx and Country Mortgage We have coastal mobile detailing.
Okay.
We have a lot of vendors here that you could come by, and thank God we have Ford's Garage doing the raffle.
Yeah, it's 8 to 10:30 in the morning, which car guys really do love to get out in the morning, get it done, and then go about their day and have a good day and stuff. They try not to upset their wives by being gone all day. Right. So this works out really good because at the same time you're done, you're ready to eat.
And with God's help, we're going to be here.
Absolutely.
So come see us.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen us, come see us.
Yeah.
What was the date again?
February 23rd.
February 23rd.
Saturday
Come on
morning.
out.
Yeah.
Come on out.
Yeah, weather looks like it's going to be good as far as future forecast goes. So that's going to be awesome.
We're open for brunch, so it's not just burgers and beer that you have to eat that morning.
Right.
Come in and get some waffles, get some eggs.
Oh, I love waffles.
You have a brunch menu that is only weekends?
Correct. Yes.
Saturdays and Sundays?
Yeah, Saturdays and Sundays. Starts at 10:30.
I'm a big
All the other days
breakfast
of the week
guy.
we're open at 9.
I'll eat breakfast 24/7.
How's that worked out? I mean, is the word out that Ford's Garage does a brunch?
I think so. I think everyone.
I think
thinks that it's
after
out.
church, after they come out of church, they come over here.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we fill up by 12 o'clock.
Now, is that every Ford's Garage that does that?
Yeah, absolutely. Every
Okay.
single one of them. And as our company grows and we get bigger, the more people know about this stuff,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, when we came to Vieira, everybody's already known about what Ford's Garage is. They've seen the one right over there in Daytona. There's one
That's
right next to Oviedo.
Right.
That's
So
right.
it's only a matter of time as we keep coming down.
Yeah, the first one I went to was out on Central Avenue, I think 4th Street in St. Petersburg.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my home. I grew up over in Clearwater, so that's my stomping ground. So that was the first one I went to. So, you had something that you wanted to talk about, and that was because it's unprecedented from what I understand. This is your happy hour, Ford Garage's happy hour.
You want to know about our happy hour?
I want to know about your happy hour.
We got a fantastic happy hour. Monday
because
through
it
Friday.
turned me on when you talked about it. It did. We talked
Monday through
food.
Friday, 2 to 6:30. We got a special menu that we do Monday through Friday. The biggest draw I think that we do is we give you multiple selections in our draft beer. All right, to start off at $4.50, premium drinks from there, and then of course we've got wine as well.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing I tell people about our happy hour is that you can come in and get a full-size chicken sandwich, a crispy chicken sandwich with pickles and honey mustard and a half order of French fries, or
good.
a full-size pork sandwich, and I'm talking about a lot of pork, fellas.
There's a smile on his face. He's
I'm getting excited just talking about it.
Yeah.
A lot of pork on this sandwich, okay? Or you get a third-pound burger, and here's the best part. You get a pint of beer, a pint of draft beer for $10. I mean, come on.
Now, you can't
Who
beat
can
that.
beat that?
You
That's
can't
the
beat
best
that
happy hour
anywhere.
around. And I tell you, I'm so blessed and grateful that I believe the community does know about it, because you can be in this restaurant Monday through Friday and you'll see this bar fill up.
Yeah.
Lunch will just be coming to an end, so there's not a lot of tables that are in the restaurant, but that bar stays full. And it just puts a smile on everyone's face to see that, because not everybody can say that.
Yeah.
And,
No.
we're happy that we can.
Yeah, in 6 months' time, you've got to be just stoked about. Well, we came in on a Wednesday night, and when we left at 6:38, there were 4 tables that were open on a Wednesday night. You weren't doing bingo. You weren't anything special. It was just another night.
Right.
And it was banging.
Yeah, once again, we're just blessed and grateful to have a fantastic, beautiful restaurant that we got to open just over 6 months ago. The community has really wrapped their arms around us, and it's just a pleasure to open up this restaurant and work in it every single day.
Yeah. Joe, at the car show that was Ford's, only the first one, you had about 100, 150 cars somewhere in there. That's a big turnout for a first time.
For the first time.
What do you think you're expecting next week?
Well, I'm thinking more like 200 cars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is our parking lot big enough for that?
We have
Right, George. No, it's a big parking lot, but it's going to wrap around and do.
Yeah.
And y'all's goal is, of course, to continue after 10:30 the participation from the cars. You don't want them to just pull out and take off,
Right.
although we know some will.
Yeah.
But we're hoping that we're going to come back in here and just going to start cooking waffles like crazy.
Yeah, we want to serve them
that's
brunch,
the hope.
absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the hope. When we finished up the last car show, I would say it was about a good 50 people waiting to open.
Yeah.
Open
Yeah.
when we open. So, all reason to believe that's going to happen again. I mean, we're ready.
George, your district partner. How long have you been with Ford's Garage?
I'm going on 4 years.
How old is Ford's Garage?
Since 2012.
2012.
Yep.
You started with one store here in Florida.
Yep. So I originally started over in St. Augustine, Florida.
Okay.
Yep. And then moved over to Daytona, took over that location, then became a district partner, and now I have 8 of them around the state.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to tell about why it's Ford's Garage?
Why it's Ford's Garage?
Yeah. Where did that come from? How did it come to fruition?
I'll let Tony take that one.
I mean, it was just a group of guys that wanted to start this thing out.
But
And
it didn't start out as Ford's Garage. I mean, the concept.
right.
We weren't originally licensed by Ford Motor Company, but we were always Ford's garage.
Correct.
You know, and back in the day when, you know, Ford Motor Company came down and they said, hey, who the heck is this restaurant using my name on their building, right?
Okay.
They came down and they took a look and they got excited about it and they wanted something to do with it.
Well, is it just the fun fact that you were in Fort Myers where
the very first one is.
But who Ford was there?
Well, so
it wasn't Etzel.
No, Henry.
Henry Ford.
So fun fact.
Yeah, Chris knows about this.
So
we
fun
talked
fact.
we talked about it before we came on.
For those of you that aren't from Florida or don't live in Florida, never been to Florida, there's snowbirds, right? So those are people who live up north. When the weather gets cold, they come down here. Makes sense. I would do the exact same thing if I lived in Detroit. So Henry Ford had a winter home here, and it was in Fort Myers. So the very first Ford's garage is only a mile from Henry Ford's winter home.
That's right. You did some research. I like it.
And who was Henry Ford's neighbor? Wasn't there
that wasn't his neighbor.
It was
his buddy. That's his best friend was Thomas Edison.
Thomas Edison.
Correct.
Yep.
In Florida, right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I believe Westinghouse also had a winter home in Fort Myers, so that was quite the place to be in those days.
Yeah. I don't blame him. It's nice.
Where did that voice come from?
It's a whole lot warmer. That's Bryce over there.
That's Bryce.
It's a whole lot warmer than Detroit in February. I'll say that. We're in shorts and T-shirts today.
It's true, but be careful talking about Detroit, okay?
Well,
it's just cold.
Right?
It's
No,
just
right.
cold.
Hey,
It's freezing cold.
Motor City.
All right.
How many stores have grown from one in Fort Myers, Florida? What's going on here in Florida alone? Let's just talk Florida.
Yeah, we're going to reach probably 30 this year. So we're sitting at 26, 27 right now, and yeah, we fully expect to hit over 30. Yeah, just in the state of Florida.
And I think now you've just hit your 6th state. Ford's Garage is now in Virginia, which is, I think, the 6th state. Is that right?
So our newest openings were in Richmond, Virginia, and Smith Haven, New York. We just got those up and going. And, yeah, we have one all the way over in Texas. We have one up in Ohio, Indiana. Yeah. So they're definitely coming up.
Wow. So let's get into the topic of the show.
Yeah, pitfalls.
Yeah.
So everybody makes mistakes. That's why we were late to do our show here. We were 30 minutes late.
It was
because there's pitfalls to everything you do, and you don't know it until you do it. This, like I said, this was our first road trip.
Yep.
And so we learned a lot, and we just experienced a bunch of pitfalls here in front of an entire restaurant full of people, and the managers and people that we wanted to try to impress, but we didn't impress them. But anyways, so moving forward, we're going to try to help you guys out and give you some of the pitfalls that I personally learned, and I know you've personally seen.
Yeah.
So we got stories from the garage over here inside the garage.
Yeah.
And so we're just going to start off. And honestly, number one on my list.
Yeah. And this is coming from you who are, you're building Pearl, your 85 square body.
Yep. Or just even projects I'm looking at. So my father-in-law, fun fact, my father-in-law is watching right now. He texted me while you guys were chit-chatting. Hey, Joe. His name's Joe as well.
Hey.
Joe gave me Pearl, my 85 C10.
Yep.
Gave it to me as a present. It was in Vegas, shipped it out here. Now it's running and driving and all that.
Sure is.
Joe also, his very first car, he still has. It's a 56 Chevy 210. Yeah. He has gifted that to my wife.
Yep.
That needs a full-blown restoration, so I've learned a lot on Pearl.
So I'm going to lose money on this as Dolphinado. You're not going to
make any money. You're not going to make any money.
It teaches a guy something, and all of a sudden he's opening his own stuff,
So, yeah, anyway. So the first part is picking the wrong car.
Yeah.
If you pick the wrong car, you really, I was talking to Joe over here the other day, or just a minute ago. People love 89 IROCs or 88 Camaros, right? They love those. See, right now, they love those Camaros right now. The one you go pick out, make sure that's a really good project car to start off with, because if you find one, it's only $3,000, but you got all this framework that you got to do. Now it's gonna. But if you pick a better one that's maybe $5,000, that you don't have to do as much body work into, you don't have to get as many harnesses. Maybe the motor's better.
It gets crazy expensive.
It does. It gets so crazy expensive because everybody looks at that initial price of buying that project, versus looking at what you're starting with.
Is it a roller? Is it a runner? If it's a roller, how easy is it going to be to get the parts that you need to make it a runner? I mean, because that's your first goal, is to get the thing running. Once you get it running, you're all in. You're just going to keep throwing the bank at it, because now I'm excited. Now I've got the smell of gas and oil dripping, and I'm hot.
You had a guy. It was a family car, though. It was that blue Corvette.
Yeah.
And
77. Chevy Corvette,
Yeah.
25,000 original
decent,
miles.
but the
Yep.
family got it from somebody who had started a restoration.
Yeah.
And they brought it to you thinking it was only going to cost so much money.
Yeah.
And you really opened their eyes.
Well, they took.
So what did you see?
They took it to a shop. They were from in Orlando, and they brought it to a shop, word of mouth, vet doctor out this way, something. And he had it in his shop for 3 years. He billed them $12,000 and hadn't done anything quality. The owner came out, saw it. He was unhappy. He came down around the corner. He knew we were there before he even went there, and he came and he said, "Look, have you got room for this car? I want to tow it out now. I'm pissed." So he brought it to us. They had it for 3 years, 12 grand. T-tops, white interior. They left the windows down, T-tops off in a shop for 3 years.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you, it destroyed the interior on this car, Joe. So we brought it in. We got the thing running, driving, AC working, everything done, built out, repainted a lot of areas that were flawed out, matched the paint from a 77, 100% right out the door. We did it for about $12,500 in 3 months. Wow. And that's getting somebody
But
back.
he thought initially it was going to be like $5,000.
He did.
That's what he thought.
Because this is a 77 Corvette. It's worth 15 max. He's already 24 into it.
Yeah, he's into it quite a bit.
Plus, they bought it for 10 grand.
And see, now, well, that was a little bit different. That was a family.
It
you
was.
know,
It
a
was.
family car.
It was.
But had somebody bought that, you know, thinking, oh, it just needs a little bit. So do your research.
Right.
Pick the right car. It doesn't matter what you want. Pick the right car. That is a huge lesson that I've learned.
Well, now, as a restoration, are you going to do it yourself, Chris? Or are you going to hire Dolphin Auto to come in there and do it? Because we're 90 to 140 an hour, depending on what you need on what. But you are nights and weekends, which is just a love of labor.
Yes.
So right there, if you are not mechanically inclined, you ever work on a car, George?
Never.
Okay.
No. Just the burgers in the back.
So buying a restoration for you, you're going to look at something that is mostly complete, that you're going to put your personal touches on.
Yeah, sure.
You're going to see that it's high end is worth 40 grand. You're paying 35. You're still going to be okay. 90% of cars that come into our shop for restorations end over the amount of what the vehicle's worth. You've got to know it coming in.
You played right into my second point.
Oh, coincidence.
Is he hasn't seen these. He has not seen my list whatsoever.
No.
So overestimating your skill level. Oh, I can do that. This doesn't take that much. Oh, I can put those coilovers on myself. I can do this.
My son says that.
I can
My
pull
son
that
says that,
motor.
yeah.
Oh, this transmission, I'll just put it up on blocks and I get this transmission. If you don't have a shop, it makes things a really, really hard.
After it costs you money.
After it costs you a lot. And then you get to a point, and I don't want to scare anybody off.
No.
But you get to a point where now you can't move it. Now you got to get somebody to tow it out. So don't overestimate. Be very honest with yourself. Look in the mirror. Make sure that you're like, I really need. I've called. How many times have I called you? A
lot.
ton. I'm like,
You
hey
sent me
man,
a picture.
relief
She's sagging.
pitcher,
She's
relief
sagging. What are we
pitcher.
doing
Yeah.
now? Tap me in.
Yeah.
Or it's
I love
about
that.
who you know, right? We met some great people that can just come and tell us if it's a good investment and
Yeah.
they can work on it.
That's
right.
Yeah, I arbitrated at an auction over in Clearwater for a long time, and we learned to kick cars and all that. But now we do a lot with Mecum Auto Auctions, so we get to go out there and really, man, when you learn about what a car can sell for in a pretty good shape, and what people get, 2 bidders in a row, and the testosterone gets going, and they're going to bid this thing out of the water, and now the guy's going to own it forever because he's never going to sell it for what he had into it. It's going to be a tax write-off or something like that. So, Joe, you've done something with your son. We met him before the show. He wants to do some coilovers. He talks about it. Is he really a guy that's
Is he a
gonna
car
get out there
guy?
Try to do it?
He is
All
a
my
car
boys
guy?
are car guys.
Oh, I like it.
I have 4 boys, and they're all car guys.
And you have a big garage where they get to work on it in there?
They get to work on it. Alex, my son Alex, works on his car all the time.
Awesome.
What are their
Julian-
age? What are their age ranges?
So Julian is here. He's 25 years old. He
Okay.
works for Porsche. He does ceramic coating and
Wow.
Love that.
a bunch of details. And Alex is working for Coco Ford.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Coco
awesome.
Ford. He's helping out Kane Robinson from
Yeah.
Coco Ford.
Kane's a good guy.
Yeah, Kane is a good guy. And but Alex wants to do everything himself. And sometimes-
What's his favorite car? What are their favorite cars? Like their dream cars, classics or modern?
Yeah, we're so
or-
curious about Gen Z, about what they're really
We
into
love
now.
BMWs in the
Okay.
house. So I have a supercharged M3 BMW 2008.
Okay.
Nice. And so your sons are BMW guys
Yes.
as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And so that's what we're really seeing about the Gen Z is they're all over the map between
are.
BMWs to
Well, we got the
Lexuses,
ZR1s, and yeah, I mean, it's just
they're all over the map.
I think one of them was at a 93 S10. I mean, it really is all over.
It goes all over.
Yeah.
From classics to exotic.
Yeah.
You know, I really appreciate that because all the boomers, man, the boomers are nothing wrong with boomers.
Nope.
But they're just, you know, the big three, right? They're the Chevy, the Ford, the Dodge.
Well, here we'll say Ford first and then Chevy and Dodge.
Well, here's another fun fact. You guys will appreciate this. So that 77 Corvette he was talking about came in, and they had painted the motor Ford blue in a Chevy Corvette.
Okay.
Yeah. He pointed out right away.
Another
He's
reason.
Like, what in the world?
Well, it matched the car kind of as far as but Chevrolet did black or orange, and that's how it was. So, but I appreciated their wanting to match it to the car.
I was there when the car was there, and he just opened the hood, having to open the hood when I was there at the shop. He's like, Ford blue in a Corvette. What in the world?
But that's like the best part about working on cars, though, is everybody has a vision, right? So you can just customize it the way. I think that's one of the coolest things about cars, too.
What people love about cars.
That's what I'm saying, too, is that if somebody like George came in here and bought a car but wasn't into doing the restoration, wanted to get it mostly done, and then put his personal touch on that, then that's the car that he's going to go and do it. It's something that's almost done, but he gets to put the throw pillows on it. You know, the little tang here and tang there. We're going to stop talking about this stuff for a second.
Yeah, we'll be right back. We got more points.
We've got Mike coming in,
and I'm hungry.
Oh, look
Joe,
at
you're going to head your headset over to Mike real quick. We're going to sit and talk to Mike for just a second. I reached out to Mike right before the show started, and I asked him how long he'd been here. He said since the inception. I asked where did he come from. He said high-end out of Cocoa Village, was there for 11 years. So, Mike, thanks for bringing us some food. Tell us real quick what you got for us.
So this is the Estate Burger. We have a nice picture of it on our menu. It's got a white truffle bacon aioli. It's kind of like a white truffle bacon mayonnaise. It's got a sweet red onion marmalade, which is a little sweet, really nice. It pairs really nicely with the white truffle bacon mayonnaise. It's got crispy fried onion straws, the best cheese, the smoked Gouda cheese.
Smoked Gouda,
Smoked Gouda, arugula, slice of tomato, and then our brioche bun.
And love the brioche bun.
Absolutely.
And it's got that signature Ford stamp on it.
Yes, sir, like we talked about. And it's got its own little flag there, too.
Now
All of our burgers come with that.
You do this on every bun, or there?
So we have a pretzel bun as well.
Do you?
And we also have a gluten-free bun for those that are gluten-free.
Yeah.
But all of our brioche buns have that Ford stamp on them.
That's so cool.
Yes,
That's
sir.
kind of an original touch. I don't know any places that have done that. Is that?
I'm still on a fry.
That's just part of the concept. I mean, this is look, the whole concept about all this restaurant. I mean, it really is just. It's every car guy's dream. It's just not filled with cars. It's filled with booths and tables, and you're serving food out of it.
That's right.
But this place is. It's just cool. It's designed real cool. I mean, garage doors.
Yep, fully functional, too.
Fully functional.
They do open.
Yeah, it's just awesome. So, Chris, you're cutting into this burger. And are you guys going to partake? You need a plate?
No, that's all you guys.
Okay, all right. We'll save plates for the rest of whatever.
Here you go, Joe.
You know, as you were talking about that bun, and not a lot of places do it. You know, that's an expense that somebody has to be willing to take for the wow factor, right?
Yeah.
You know, people come in here and they see that and they're just like, wow, that's awesome. You know, but it costs you money to do something like that. So people have got to be willing to put in the money for it.
I want to put this on the camera. Bryce, you're right there. There you go. So this is, man, I made it look sloppy, but
well, I didn't cut it very well.
That's all right. That's
Probably
all
should
right.
have gotten that camera before we cut it.
That's right. Yeah, thanks a lot, Kenny.
That kind of looks like a section of a casserole at
Man,
this point.
I almost like Tiana coming. She's
And you guys are eating with a fork, too. That's a little different way to eat a burger.
I mutilated it coming off the plate.
It's all
Are we still
murder.
live streaming this?
Look.
Is everybody going to see that?
Does everybody see it? Look at that. Oh, give it
Right back
to
to
me.
it, Bryce. There you go.
See,
There
you
it's like it's murdered. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Tiana,
It's okay.
Gouda cheese,
Smoked Gouda.
That's okay.
smoked Gouda.
Yeah.
We'll make sure to do the camera shot next time.
Kenny's yelling at customers.
But here's the question, the most important question, fellas. How does it taste?
It's amazing. I would have never picked this off a menu.
Yeah.
So my wife does this. Side note, and I'm sure your guys' wives do this too. She picks out clothes for me.
Mike, thank you so
that
much
I would
for coming.
never wear.
Hey, can I get a refill on a Budweiser? Do you mind at all? I appreciate it so much.
But she picks out clothes that I would never wear, and they end up looking amazing in them. I'm like, I'm glad you picked that out. So this was awesome. I would have never ordered this.
So that's one of one of the reasons I'm not married, but thank you for sharing that.
So while you guys are eating this, so
Yeah,
just so
please,
you know
George.
about this burger, this was actually something that you can't get anywhere else. This was created by one of the managing partners in our Wesley Chapel location, probably about 6, 7, 8 years ago. So he just one day sat down and said, you know what, I want to create a new burger, and this is what he came up with. And we liked it, and the public loved it so much, we stuck it on all of our menus.
Yep, that's great. Yep, shout outs to Nick.
Yeah, good job.
Nick, great job, Nick.
Hey, Tony, so I own a McDonald's,
Yes, sir.
and that burger is good.
We're not going to hold that against you.
That burger is good.
I appreciate you saying that, sir.
This burger
I'm
is
trying
good.
to figure out how I could stamp my McDonald's arches and my burgers.
Listen, let's not worry about that. Okay, you weren't first. Okay, so you got to figure something else out, Joe.
That's almost a cheap shout out right there, right? But we're going to allow it. We're gonna allow it.
That's I see what you're doing over
Yeah,
there.
you did a good job trying to compare McDonald's there to.
Yeah, which there isn't.
I'm a burger guy. I'm a burger
Unbelievable.
guy, but that's good. That's really good.
You know, it's one of our most popular burgers in the restaurant. It gets ordered a lot, and for us, that's like the Rolls Royce burger of our menu, right?
The
cool
cheese.
thing about all of our burgers too is you can get different burgers. So that's our Angus, right? Which is a fantastic cut. But we also have bison. How many restaurants offer bison
Very few.
in their burgers,
Very
right?
few.
I will say, I lived in Vegas for many, many years. So it's like home to me. And so bison, to me, bison and elk, I like them better than cow.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I really
right.
do.
Yeah.
They're real
Yeah.
lean.
It's
They're
outstanding.
delicious.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, bison burger is absolutely amazing. My wife tells me all the time. She's like, where do you guys get your bison? We can't find it anywhere. So matter of fact, I come stop by here all the time and grab bison burgers to bring home for her.
He has done that a few times, but hey.
Tell them a little bit about the Sheriff Ivy burger.
Oh, the Sheriff Ivy burger, yes.
Yeah, that's our Brevard County Sheriff is Wayne Ivy.
Correct, yeah, and
the
Sheriff
fries.
Ivy's awesome. We're buddies, and he's done a couple things with us here at the restaurant as well. Obviously, Joe knows him very well as well, and we named it after him and his dog Junie, right? And
Yeah.
we call it the Ford Signature Burger. It's it's our Angus burger with barbecue sauce, 2 slices of bacon, lettuce, tomato, onion on that burger. Once again, it has the brioche with the Ford stamp. It's got cheddar cheese, right? Can't forget about the cheese. That one comes with our cheddar cheese. And it's just a fantastic burger. I mean, who does not like a barbecue cheddar bacon burger?
Yep.
Tastes good. It tastes
It's
good.
about the
outstanding.
seasoning as well, man. When we season these bad boys, we put some seasoning on them. Nobody likes the taste of bland Angus, right? So
But
when we
not
season,
so much as covering the food taste. I mean, the
no,
food,
no,
I can,
it's a perfect amount of seasoning. We season these bad
Absolutely.
boys just perfect, and it's got great flavors.
absolutely.
But
Yeah,
it's a
I
very
love
popular
that.
burger.
I love that. All right.
All right, back on topic.
Yeah, boy, that was
You're not here to watch us eat.
man, that's too good. Too good.
It's too bad you're
We'll get that
not,
out of the
because
way for you.
No, you're good.
we
Yeah.
could get subscribers just for watching us eat.
No, I mean like a
That'd
food
be
channel or
fatter than
something,
I
right?
am.
Right. So Tony, I haven't talked to you about cars. Even in the meeting, sitting down, hanging out before this, I haven't really talked to you about cars. I know what you drive right now.
Yes, sir.
What do you like? Where's your car taste at?
You know what, man? I'm a big fan of Lamborghinis. I'm a big fan of Ferraris. I've always liked the Vipers. I think Dodge Vipers are fantastic.
Yeah.
I've always been really drawn to them. I think for me, it was the way that aggressive stance that car took,
Yeah.
and I love those rear wheels, those big, wide rear tires in the
love
back of
that.
that.
They
sound great.
And it's just a really cool car. Always been a fan
You're
of
an
the Dodge
exotics
Viper.
guy.
Yeah, kind of. But I had a Corvette. I had it for 12 years, and
A Corvette.
yeah, I didn't tell you that.
I know. How did he
A
fit into a
Ford, a
Corvette?
Ford.
That's what everybody says.
Well, he had to sell it when he took this
I
job.
got to build a 4-inch custom exhaust on Hulk Hogan's '94 Viper way back in '96.
That's awesome.
And just doing the exhaust from a 3-inch to a 4-inch, because my pipe bender I maxed out at 3-inch, so it was a shop. I was at way back in St. Pete, but what a great car. I mean, we got to take it for a drive afterward. I don't get to drive a lot of them. I had one at the shop a couple years ago, but I like it better than a Corvette. I get to drive a lot of the Corvettes. We've had 15 of them in shop since Christmas, but they've almost all been older. So we've got one customer who's got a 2014 that we did a supercharger on, ProCharge, and took it to a dyno shop, brought it from 480 to 600 horsepower,
Wow.
and it just goes. But the Vipers come stock with this. The Viper's a great car, that V10.
That
It's just,
V10.
a hell of a car. So good.
Yeah, the Viper, this thing was fantastic. But I had the C6 Corvette, and that was the roomiest Corvette they've ever made, to my knowledge. So actually, I could fit in that.
And you're a big guy.
Yeah, you're not little.
Yeah, well,
You're tall. How tall are you? 6'5"?
6'5".
Yeah.
So it's a little struggle for me to get into some of these cars, but I was able to get in that Corvette, and I love driving. It was convertible, and I don't care what anybody says, man. When you got that much horsepower and that aerodynamic of a car, and you just do what that car is intended to do, which is just drive.
Yep.
And the top's down, that wind.
You're so low to the ground, so it makes you feel like you're even going even faster.
It really was a really fun car to drive. I enjoyed it for 12 years until I sold it. But what a great car. I would get another one.
Yeah, very good, very good.
You ever looked at getting a classic or restoring something or doing a project?
I have. I think for me it's going to be probably a Challenger or maybe even an old school Chevelle.
Don't you have a
big
project
Chevelle
now?
guy. No, I don't have a project right now. Nope, that's my daily. Nope.
Tell them the story about the rims.
Oh, well. So you were talking about restoration and making sure you pick a great choice of a car first, right?
Yep.
That's a decision you can make.
Right.
Well, for me, I had to make sure I was going to get rims, like wheels for my car, that were no longer discontinued. So I made the mistake of getting some wheels that were discontinued, and I asked Joe to help me out, try to hunt this rim down, and one of them was bent, right, and couldn't be repaired. And no one could get this wheel, so I ended up having to chalk that up for a loss, and I was out $800. So
wow.
Well, you know what? It's funny. It's like you guys read my notes because that's actually leads. It's a perfect segue into my number 3, and that's poor planning.
Yeah, that was me. Thank you.
It really. Well, I love to restore, not just cars, but anything really. My wife can attest to this, and she's such a saint because, she puts up with it. Like the first thing I restored was a golf cart. I found this old roller golf cart that was completely rusted out, and I got it for like $400. I brought it home, took the body off, took everything, every wire out of it, every piece of metal.
I don't know the story, so.
No, you don't. And so that's the first thing that I did was a golf cart, and I brought it back to life from nothing. And I had no experience with golf carts. I had never even owned a golf cart. But so that's how I learned a lot of this, like poor planning, picking the wrong thing, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, poor planning, man. Really think about, all right, the donor car, right? All right, what's my skill level? How do I attack this? Like when I got Pearl. When I first met Kenny, I had a garage full of parts already ready to go.
Well, it was going to be delivered to you, and it was running.
Well, and it's funny because I talked to my father-in-law about this because he saw an episode a couple ago. It was running. It was running.
Okay, because when you got it, it was not.
It technically did.
Put.
Yeah, but there were some other issues to it that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
But anyway,
yeah,
neither here nor there. But yeah, you get surprises.
Yeah,
there's always surprises with anything you do.
Yeah.
But proper planning, you guys manage restaurants. You plan for things. It's huge, right? There's a lot of pitfalls that you look for when you start to open anything or restore anything. So, find the right location, find the right car.
We've gotten cars at Dolphin Auto that people have tried to work on at home and succumb to it.
Level.
They'll bring it to us. And when we get done doing it, we say, hey, here's all the things that you had that were not going to get used, that weren't right for your truck or car. What do you want to do? They'll leave it. I've got a semi that has so many parts. I open my own eBay store. I swear I should really just do it for parts that have gone wrong on cars. Thinking that this is what I wanted. I wanted to get a Corvette with side pipes. They didn't take into the fact that when you get out, you'll burn your leg like on a motorcycle. They never even thought about it. And then they do it, and they're like, oh, crap, do me exhaust out the back. And that's how it goes. The stubborn guy, I want it out the side. That's what I want to hear. And he's like, I only hear half of it. Well, that's because you want it out the side. So now you're getting pop. And then he's like, well, I'm going to the highway. I'm getting dizzy because I've got carpet. Yes, you do. That's why factory exhaust is out the back. So a lot of things that people want that we have to go in there trying to tell them, hey, better judgment is, but the customer's always right.
Do you try to talk them?
Except they're not.
Do you try to talk them out of off the ledge? Do you try to tell them like, I've experienced this. I've had other guys who burn their legs on side
We
pipe.
do now. When we started, see, Dolphin Auto. We opened 13 years ago this April, and it's a mom and pop auto repair shop. But I'm in Grant, Florida, so it wasn't that we just had people knocking our door down wanting a tune-up or a tire change or something. So we figured, look, we've got the podcast, we do car shows, we're gearheads. Let's open the door to some people that we just do some tuning work to or some stuff like this, and to fill in the days that kind of ended around 2 o'clock instead of everybody still getting paid to clean the floors that are already clean. Let's go ahead and bring some hot rods and do this. So it became fill work. Well, now we're so busy as the mom and pop auto repair shop that, well, I won't even talk about what we're planning on doing, but we are planning some expansion and some growth, Chris. I mean, we're talking about this, and we've got the property, and we're going to be doing some expansion, much like Ford's Garage. We're growing. If you're not growing, you're stagnant. So growth is good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we're learning about it all, but we had to learn doing restorations as a business, because doing it as a business is a lot different than doing it in my garage on a Saturday, even my own cars. And when you take a car apart, man, you need a lot of room. There's 100,000 moving parts in a car.
It takes up so much more room than I thought.
Yes.
I mean, for those of you guys that are thinking about it, man, just buy a shed just for car parts. Seriously.
And warn your wife ahead of time what's coming, right?
It's going to save you such a headache, and buy some racks. And then, oh, man, it saves you so much time. So much, in the aircraft industry, that's where I came from. We had racks, and we had what's called T&B, tail number bins, where all their parts went into this bin, and it was easy to find the stuff when you needed it. So please, just plan for that. Proper planning. Yeah, go eat, man. Eat. We're at a restaurant, so
it tastes good.
Proper planning. Another fun fact. The other thing, that's after I restored that golf cart, I restored a Coke machine.
A Coke machine.
Coke machine. Yeah. It was an old 1967 Cavalier Coke machine with the side door. You pull the bottles out.
I know how to cheat those.
I feel like I've seen that before.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you have. I'll show you a picture.
You're not that young.
You're right. We get older every day.
All right.
But yeah, I did the Coke machine. It worked great. Nice and cold. Now it needs a new compressor.
So this is where we're gonna wind this down with you guys. We're gonna get ready to bring in Dominic in about 15 minutes or something, and he's gonna talk to us a lot about the car aspect of Ford's Garage, and we're gonna tie that into the growth of the company. Dominic is the first guy that I met when Tia and I came in to eat, and we just started shooting the shit a little bit, and it just turned out that Dominic was a car guy, and he was really open to this. And when I slid a couple cards to him and said, hey, maybe you turn Tony on to this or whatever, and this guy called me like 2 days later, what are you in about? Because I'm kind of already tingling inside. It was awesome. So
you said that too, didn't you?
Probably.
So, Tony, I want to say thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to come out here and do this.
Absolutely.
And, man, I just can't believe how good this place really is. It's not just a cover. It's not the facade. It's the deeper you get, the better it gets as a restaurant, as a company. The people. I talk about the hostess, bringing you in. When somebody answers the phone at the business, I got one shot. They need to make it right. You can be turned off at the door.
Yeah, man.
You don't even get to experience it. So thank you for I hope that you go far with this company, because I think that and if every store is like this, George, I'm telling you, you've got a gold mine here. But I think that Tony brings a level of excitement to this place. I mean, his staff cares about him.
Yeah.
My employees hate me. I'm a tool to them, But I'm driving them, and I'm about to profit, make the money, and get this out and get it right. I have an expectation of what I expect from my customers to make it right. That doesn't mean that they're on board with this. They're thinking about 4 o'clock, wanting to go home, and a cerveza, what's going on, and all that stuff. So it's taking my vision that they're going to hold on to and do that. And that's where it comes into your employees, Tony, is that each one has to care individually. Yep. You come in a bad mood, leave that in the car.
Sure.
Yeah. You need to come in. You need to be excited. You need to be happy. You need to show your customers that you're happy to be here and wanting to serve them what you know is great food.
That's right. It starts with him, man. He's got 150 employees, and all of them have got to be pulling in the same direction, right? And
wow.
This guy keeps them all in line, and man, look at the product of his
You had
hard
a
work.
like 4 or 5 texts, man.
Yeah.
We do the best we can.
Yeah.
My father-in-law messaged in. He said he'll take a pork sandwich.
Yeah,
I think
tell him
there's
to do that.
some
So
coming
he's
on,
going to
so-
be a fan forever on that deal.
So,
But,
George,
Thank you
thanks
so
a
much.
ton for stopping in. I know that you
Appreciate it.
came out of your way to do this and everything else. I'm glad that you wanted to be a part of this. It makes us feel like we're putting something together here that was worthwhile.
Absolutely. Twice a year, right? You want to do it twice a year?
We want to do it as much as Tony wants to invite us back.
All right,
And
let's
if it's
keep it
quarterly,
going.
it's quarterly. We're going to get better and stronger at this, and we're going to improve the game. And let's see what happens with the turnover on this, because I think we're both going to be happy about it all at the end of the time.
I think it's the start of a fantastic partnership, Kenny.
Joe, I'm going to jump over to you, and I'm going to talk to you that we're going to see you on the 23rd of this month, February. We're going to see you here at Well, we're going to come at 7. Now, car guys, what'd you think about when
They come early.
It's an 8 o'clock car show.
They were in the parking lot at
7?
7 o'clock
You
the
aren't
last
even
time.
kidding me.
Those like 10 cars.
And they got chamois, and they're just sitting
they
there
clean
waiting
up
to
the
clean us
cars and all
up.
that, yeah.
You know they did it before they left the driveway. They hit one bug, pissed me off. Get out there and wipe that.
I gotta wipe it off.
Crazy. But that's where the ceramic coat's in because it glides off like bugs.
Glides
Right?
right off.
Graphene's a great
Gotta
product.
get that ceramic.
That's why I have my ceramic coat.
Absolutely. Joe, so great to meet
Nice
you.
to
Thank
meet
you. We
you
can't
too.
wait to see
Thank
you
you
again
very
on
much.
the 23rd.
I'll see you the 23rd.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Joe. I appreciate
This
it.
200 cars. You better come early.
This leaves you my new
Yeah.
best friend, Tony. I love the opportunity that we were given here, but I love this restaurant. I love the theme. I love the food. I'm a former chef. I'm certified, and I'm a car guy. And so this
Tony is a great community
this
guy.
is up my alley.
Community.
Well,
He loves the
and that's
community.
I think that's why it's such a really
Yeah,
good,
right.
a good partnership because we're all about the community as well, bringing people into our community, American Car Classics, and reaching out to local business. We were just last weekend we were at Mopars of Brevard, so we're
Yep.
out there at Wickham Park in front of the community as well. We got to hand out a trophy to a winner. Fun fact, that was his first car show ever
Really?
Yeah.
that he'd ever in his truck, and he got a trophy.
good
Really
for him.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
So we're much the same way. We want to bring people in and be a part of an internet community and our local community as well. So.
For sure.
Tony, maybe that's what we do next time at our car show. Give out trophies.
I like it, man. Let's do it.
That's easy.
Well,
yeah.
when you go to talk about that, let us talk to you about what a car guy
We got
likes.
we
as
got
a
some
trophy.
ideas on that.
Don't
Yeah,
go
no,
to your trophy
let's do it.
shop and buy.
Okay.
Okay. So, thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
So
We got
Yeah.
Dominic over here just
Yeah.
chomping at the bit. Ready
Yeah.
to get
I was
in
ready to
front
come
of
talk
the
some
He's
cars
ready.
to you guys.
All
Thanks
right,
for having us, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks a bunch,
Thank you.
guys.
He don't have ears on, so he
No.
can't hear nothing. So
Yeah, we're gonna see Dominic.
giving you-
we're gonna see
it's-
Dominic in about 10 or 15 minutes. All right, thanks so much. All right, so let's keep going on this, Chris. The thing about a restoration, if you've got a timeline, I don't want to bust your bubble. If your timeline is anything less than open-ended, you can be disappointed.
I will say this from a customer standpoint: transparency is key. Honesty, transparency, that is the key, right? So if I bring a project to you, say, hey, this is what I'm looking to do.
Yeah.
What's my price, and how long is it going to take me?
And
all
how
I'm
do
looking
I
for-
tell you what a price is?
Well, sometimes you can't, but
No.
that's where the honesty and transparency comes in, right?
Yeah.
You're like, hey, Chris, looking at it, I can ballpark 5K right now by what I see. Now, what I've seen in the past with these is sometimes it's like an onion. You pull that back, and I
Oh.
see what's underneath it. It could be another 5K. We got customers over here that's like wanting to
Yeah.
get a part of it.
Yeah. No, we're still going, bro. Yeah, we got a couple hours left.
Love live, everything that
Oh, you
goes
go.
with it.
Thanks. Okay. All right. Okay. Love you. That's my family. They're getting ready to go and had a good dinner here. Somebody's wearing a Camaro shirt at Ford's Garage. I don't know how that happened.
How dare they?
Yeah. Yeah. But
It was like it was planned.
yeah.
But
no,
no, you kind of you have that. I've seen it could be an extra 5. So then, as a customer, I'm mentally prepared. Okay, this could go up to 10. Right.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes in. It's like, hey, man, it could be you could go up to 15. Just let you know, I've seen these go up to 15. Maybe not more than that, but you could up to 15. What I see right now, you're at the 5 to 10 range.
we just finished a 71 Chevelle that the customer bought wrong. And he wasn't a car guy. He was a car guy, but not a mechanical car guy. And he found us and brought it to us.
So he picked the wrong project, overestimated his skill level. First two things I said earlier.
I don't even tell you, the interior was really, really very pretty.
I remember that Chevelle.
But as it turned out, it wasn't a quality interior. But it sure did look at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, when I walked by it, it looked really nice.
And interior, if somebody comes in and says how much to do my interior, I'm going to sit there and tell them $10,000 to $15,000, depending on what you want. 10's going to be the lowest because my interior guy is going to charge me 8 or 9, and I'm going to make my percentage on it. But the interior is the last thing you worry about in a restoration. But you shouldn't wait. Can take 6 months to get your
Wow,
interior
really that
done.
long?
Absolutely, especially if you're wanting something crazy. So you've got to think about breaching it out and giving everybody their what. But we did a 68 C10, And the customer spent, after buying it wrong, for 30 grand, he spent $68,000 with us to make it right. But we took the engine apart, which is a big block, and it had 3 pistons that were not even, the rings were not, they was totally, they'd put them in. I don't even know that they really had rings all the way properly on them or anything. It ran like, the transmission had 2 speeds. It was a 350 turbo, so it should have had 3.
Yeah.
The rear end, one of the axles was welded into the locker, so it was, everything had to be done except the paint. The paint.
That's where you start talking about you peel that onion back.
Right.
What am I really looking
Right.
at? It's like that thread on your underwear. You start pulling it, man.
Right.
And pretty soon you're ugly.
So we brought in this 1972 Corvette yesterday. Customer brought it in. He came and saw us last year, and we told him we needed to wait until February. He came in February 9th, and he's had this car sitting in his. They've owned this for 40 years, but he's had it. It was his dad's, whatever. He's had it for 25, and this it was originally green. His dad had it painted red back when lacquer was a paint. Then he got it and had it 25 years ago painted back to green over the red. They didn't bring it back down. Now he's blistering, bubbling, and all this. So he said, look, I want to know how much to paint this. You bring me the car. First of all, I'm not going to see the car without painting it. He brought the car. I said, okay, we met the car. We've looked at the car. We're figuring, 10 to 20. Yeah, that's a pretty broad range, Kenny. I narrow it down a little bit. I said, we're going to do your car no matter what. We're going to make this happen. You already like us. We're going to do this. We like you as a customer. We can tell that you're a car guy. You're going to be enthused by this one over there together. We're going to go ahead and charge you 15 hours. We're going to strip this car down. Every emblem, every whatever, we're going to bring it down to bare body. Not paint, but all the emblem, all the trims, all everything off. We're going to open up what worms we're going to find immediately. And then we DA'd a spot on the trunk and found 4 paint jobs. So they said it only had 3.
Now you say DA, what is that?
That's an orbital sander.
Okay.
And this is what a body guy uses. And I'm not a body guy. I don't pretend to. I'm going to give a big shout out to a great friend of mine named Todd Byron, who used to be a co-host on the show. But Todd Byron, I owe you everything I've got in the restoration world, because he's a guru out of Vero, been there doing this stuff for 40 years, and he taught me a lot more than probably should and maybe wanted to, because we're holding our own and doing it. But you come and expose that. We found out this had a luggage rack on the back, and they filled it with Bondo. It's a fiberglass car. You should have used Tiger Hair, a Duraglass, something. So right there, we opened up that can of worms, because that's going to have a different base of settlement. Yeah. It's going to blister. It's going to have a different solvent pop. It's going to tear apart. So we exposed that already. So the customer came in today. We worked out a deal, $14,500, just to paint the car. But we're going to bring it down to glass, and we're going to seal it with an epoxy primer, and then we're going to be able to do the job right. But this is what it takes on knowing this car.
Well, and the
that
thing
they're
is,
fiberglass.
you've pretty
different
much become like the Corvette shop of Grant, Florida. How many Corvettes you got at the shop right now?
5.
How many have you done this just since January? How many have you had at the shop?
Since we came back from Christmas break, we've had 15 Corvettes at our shop,
and none of them newer than 80.
One was an 06.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 06, and it's a good car.
And all the rest of them pre-80.
182, but they're all C3s.
C3s.
Yeah. And it's beautiful that we've got 2 of them right now, both 72s. One's a convertible small block 4-speed, and the other one is, and factory no air. The other one is a T-top big block 4-speed factory air. And just they're beautiful together. They're beautiful.
Stories from the garage. Dominic's here with us now.
Yeah.
Welcome, Dominic.
Yeah, Dominic. Oh, he's not on.
He's heard.
Bryce.
He's heard a few.
Yep.
But anyway, to fill you in, Dominic, we're doing pitfalls.
Good.
Yeah.
There you
pull your mic into your corner a little bit.
Just
off to the side of your mouth. There you go. Awesome.
There's your camera right there.
The black phone, right?
Yeah.
So,
say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody?
Dominic,
So
we
you're a
appreciate
car
you
guy,
coming
right?
to the table,
Yeah,
man. Right on. Right on.
You're a car guy?
Well, I used to be a lot more of a car guy than I am currently.
You never stop being a car guy.
No.
Sometimes you just go through the ebbs and flows of car.
Yeah, busy other things.
But you've got
other
a demanding
life.
job right now, man.
Yeah.
This place is banging, and I love it so much.
Yeah, man, we're busy.
Yeah.
We're doing well.
Yeah. Let's just go into cars. What was your first car?
My first car.
Yeah.
So my first car I had very briefly. It was a 1989 Mercedes 240 diesel.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Expect that.
No.
Yeah.
You had that briefly because
So, well, I mean, it wasn't very
reliable.
No, I mean the thing. It actually was. It just for the time. So I started driving, like 99, 2000, right?
Okay.
My grandfather actually bought that car. I'm originally from Pennsylvania, but my grandfather found that car, bought it, trailered it down, said, here you go. Okay, great. It's awesome. And it was cool, but, I mean, 4-speed manual, non-turbo diesel.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't merge into traffic.
No, no, snail.
No.
So you needed something a little bit.
No, you could get to 50 miles an hour in about 3 business days.
What'd you upgrade to?
So the next one, it was a Ford truck.
Okay.
Of the same year, I found an '89. Also, it was a.
Those are real popular now.
It was an F-150. Long bed with the dual gas tanks.
Yep.
4.9 liter straight six, which is actually an old Ford tractor motor. But man, that thing, it towed my boat great. It did.
Yeah?
It did a lot of things for what it was. Yeah, the thing was a bulletproof vehicle.
He's telling Kenny.
Sorry, it's for him. Gosh. Sorry about that.
He's yelling at customers over here.
So yeah, I had trucks for a little while because I grew up. I raced motocross most of my life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I started that young, riding at 4, racing at 5.
Wow.
Real competitive by 6.
Yeah.
A lot of success in the amateur ranks.
Wow.
A couple years
I was a
professional.
BMXer, man. I used to ride the.
Yeah, a couple years pro on the 125 class.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good size,
Yeah, it
man.
was
The
all-
250s are so big.
You kind of
Yeah,
got that
well-
look to you. And my question to any motocross racer is, how many times did you get sidelined with an injury?
So
A lot. A lot.
Not really. So I had a pretty. I only had one bad one. It was towards the end of my career. It was in 2002 at Steel City Pro National in Pennsylvania. I wrecked real bad there one time, but facial fractures, concussion, life flighted, that whole deal.
Wow.
But that was really the only one and only bad
Right.
time I had. I raced with a lot of people that constantly had things going on, but fortunately I was always pretty safe and controlled and
normally
avoided
it's
a
an
lot of
appendage
injuries.
injury.
I
It's a-
avoided the collarbones were real common.
broke
Our
mine.
helmets are designed to break your collarbone
Legs,
because
because
it
we-
channels everything
it
into
absolutely
that
does.
and away from your spine.
Yeah.
I broke my
Um,
collarbone playing football years ago, and that sucks because you can't cast it. So you're
Nope.
just in a sling.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I used to wear the old school, back then, the over the jersey chest protectors and stuff too. They kind of looked like football pads,
Yeah.
a little bulky, not as mobile. But for the couple times that I kind of got off on that shoulder side like that, I never did a collarbone. And knees were common too. Like a lot of people did ACLs, MCLs,
Right.
like that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
awesome. So what do you do here?
So I
at
spent a lot of
Ford's?
time.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about Ford's Garage and what you're doing here.
So I'm one of the managers here. I've been in the restaurant business for a long time. Doing everything from young. Started as a side job to, originally start paying for car insurance and be able to start driving. That was when we moved down to Florida from Pennsylvania. I was 14. I didn't really want to come down, but the motivational part for me was here you could get your learner's permit at 15 rather than 16. So I was like, okay, cool, at least I can drive sooner.
Right.
Yeah.
Started doing some stuff. My first job was in a restaurant to do that, and then I've kind of been in and out of it for a long time, but a lot of years as doing what Tony does as a GM and a managing partner in some other brands, and I took a step backwards from that coming into Ford's because I came across this, and it's real easy to get real passionate about this real quick.
What a great team. I mean, everybody's on board with loving the attitude and atmosphere of this place.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you've got, first of all, the building. Like, you walk in, it's cool. It looks like a 1920s style. It's a Prohibition-era style garage, right?
Absolutely.
You've got real Model A's all over the place.
You do.
The vibe is awesome.
toolboxes
The
full
food
of-
is great.
You've got
Full
three
of napkins.
cars here. Three and one inside?
Yeah, 4. So
4.
they're all Model A's. There's 3 outside. And all of these cars are real.
Yes,
noticed
absolutely,
yeah,
the
on
whole
that
time.
one, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
The one above the bar they turn. They're on
Yeah.
an electric motor.
yeah.
So they-
For you guys at home, you can kind of see it above Dominic's head, the wheels
Yeah.
right there. That's a Model T over the
Yeah.
bar. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
yeah, So that's on it's just electric motors spinning the wheels, but it's got like a functioning Uga horn. It's got the old like pull up ding ding bells. Yeah, we do it. Yeah, kind of throughout random times and birthdays and stuff. They light it up.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, there's 3. And they're all real cars, so they're gutted out. They're rolling chassis.
Yes.
But it's pre-VIN number days, but they're, if you look at the axles, where they would be stamped, they've got original production code and stuff on them.
Right.
That's awesome.
They're heavy.
Did you come on board?
They're real heavy. Like, surprisingly, when we move those cars around outside,
Yeah.
for being a gutted out car, how heavy they are, because they're all thick steel.
It's all thick steel, yeah.
But those are all 1930s outside.
All of them.
And then this one above the bar is a 1929.
29. My dad was born in 27, so I just go back in time and think about him growing up and being 8 or 10 and hopping in the back of a rumble seat or something.
Yeah.
How cool is stuff and all this. So you've been with Ford's Garage before this place opened, or you came on as
before this place opened? I actually joined at the same time as Tony. I came in about a week after him.
Okay.
So we've been with the company essentially for the same
Okay.
amount of time. We started together. We worked in the other Ford's garages prior to this one opening together. And with Amanda, too, who's not here right now.
That's
but,
right.
She started, she's about 2 weeks behind me. So we actually had a unique thing where we got to spend a lot of time as a team before we opened this restaurant as a team.
Awesome. We're going to actually have Amanda come out to our studio and do a show with us because she's a drag racer.
Yeah, she'll be a good one for you. Yeah,
She drives a Fox body.
Yeah, she's got a Fox body.
And she's sponsored, and she's the real deal.
Yeah, she's got a Yeah, she's got a Fox body with a Chevy motor in it.
Yeah,
it's a big block 427.
Yeah,
she's got a turbo on it.
Okay,
it's a fast car. It's
okay,
mid 7-second car.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, we love chicks that drive cars.
Yeah, she does a lot of cool events and stuff too.
Yeah. So we're going to be excited talking to her. We were sorry that she wasn't going to be joining us, but I think that she's in Texas right now with sponsors.
She's actually in Texas right now at her motor builder getting when she did the last big race she did here was over in at Bradenton with Cletus McFarland.
Yep.
She did
Cletus and cars.
Cletus,
she did. And when she was racing the Catfish Camaro, she was on the scramble button going through the big end and let the head gasket go. So
she wanted to win.
Yeah, she got the win.
Okay.
She got the win, but sometimes the sacrifice happens. But yeah, she lost the head gasket, and they're out there just rebuilding, making sure checking out damage.
I'm sure they've got really ARP studs running through that head gasket too. So about the restaurant, everything you ever thought it would be?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. And I don't know, you're not a general manager, and I love that the garage are partners.
Mm-hmm.
You have the opportunity to grow with the store, and get noticed, and then develop somewhere else.
Yeah, we're a growing brand currly.
Growing exponentially
with Fords in particular.
Thanks for coming.
We're growing. We're not growing super fast. We're growing faster than a lot of other brands. But we're doing it in a strategic, controlled way.
There's an old saying in boxing. I'm a huge boxing guy. Don't get your chin over your knees, as in lean too far forward. That's how you get knocked out. So when you talk about growing, you don't want to grow too fast. You want to grow at the right pace, do it the right way.
Yeah.
Much like restoring a car.
Right.
It's all about that planning, right?
Right.
So
I've done this with some other brands that were growing really fast too. And I mean, opening like 80, 90, 100 restaurants in a year, right? And things were going well. But what happens there, it's really easy to outgrow yourself.
Or even oversaturate.
You're doing so much and you're bringing in so many people, it's real easy to lose and outgrow your culture.
Yeah.
And the culture is such a huge part of our brand and what we do.
Yeah.
So you can run into, you get your culture watered down. You're stressing out your supply chain faster than things can happen.
Yeah.
I know you're going to talk to Chris later on about food and some of the stuff we do here, but we use a lot of fresh, quality products here.
Yeah.
Speaking of the food, I got to cut in for a minute because somebody just handed me some of your chili.
Okay.
And I am blown away. Do you guys make that fresh in-house? You have to.
We do. We make that chili here.
It's unbelievable.
I love the chili. Yeah, we make the chili.
You cooking
here.
3 gallons? You cooking 5 gallons? What are you doing?
We got more food coming.
Well, depending on when we're making it and the volume that we're looking at for the amount of time that the product is good.
Yeah.
It varies.
Shelf life, all
it
that.
varies.
Yeah.
Right now, we went from 45 degrees outside back up to 80 degrees outside.
Sure did.
It's so nice.
So in the last week or so, we've sold a lot less of that. So we've scaled it back a little bit,
Not seasonal, but controlled by temperature.
Yeah, well, yeah, when it's cold outside, everybody suddenly
food.
said, oh, my God.
I actually said to myself the other day, I wonder how many people go for a Frosty when it's 45 degrees out. I wondered how many
Hey,
people.
you know what? Our milkshake sales didn't slow down while it was cold,
No.
ironically enough. But we sold a lot more chili and a lot more French onion soup.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love making it.
But yeah, the chili's really good. We make that. We make that, and the that cilantro sour cream that's drizzled on top is kind of, it changes it a lot. If you get it without that, it's not quite the same in my opinion.
Now, Bryce, you're chasing that with a glass of wine that they provided to you. How's the quality of the wine?
The wine is great also. Sorry, I had a mouthful
No,
of chili.
you're good. I'm gonna get you at the moments that I can. That's what I do.
Well, he got jealous watching us eat a burger, so now we're watching him eat.
Yeah.
Eat food.
He did.
Yeah, you had the estate burger, right?
Yeah, we sure did,
man.
man. Oh.
That one's my favorite. That's a fan
Gouda,
favorite in general.
The smoked Gouda, and here again, we were talking to George, the district manager, district partner, and he said, look, it's just the right amount of seasoning. I go to a steakhouse, and a lot of times I tell them, hey, leave the seasoning off. Bring me a little on the side. It's caked. Like the cook didn't care, he just kind of slapped
too much.
it and did.
Yeah.
The seasoning's just it's overpowering. I want to taste the food. I want the seasoning to enhance the taste of food. This burger was, I don't think we could have asked it to be any better. It was
No,
incredible.
I thought it was fantastic. Yeah, I mean, like I was telling the other guys, I would have never.
I hear a birthday or
Yeah,
something going on. So, yeah.
That's something I never would have ordered. So I'm glad I got to try it.
Yeah.
It really am. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, yeah. So back to our show. We were our main topic today is restorations gone wrong because of lack of planning, lack of. You brought up a point about having the product on hand.
Yeah.
In since COVID, the product on cars has changed so much.
Oh man.
Getting it is hard. We're awfully happy about the changes in the government and everything else, but there are some tariffs going on. There's some things happening that are going to even slow production down in certain
the car
areas.
market has just been,
all
since
this.
COVID, has been up and down. Like
Crazy,
you couldn't
yeah.
find
Yeah.
them. You know, old cars were going for 10 times more than they were worth. I exaggerate a bit, but they were going for way
A
more
lot.
than they're worth. And then, now they're everywhere. They're a dime a dozen, but they're still asking, COVID prices for these trucks. I mean, thankfully, like we were talking about just a couple months ago, new trucks were like $90,000 for a regular truck, but you can actually find them now in the 50s.
Yeah, they came down a little bit.
Yeah,
I
so
actually
down.
just picked up a truck recently.
Did you? What'd you get?
I got an F-150 again. I got a used one though.
Right on.
All right,
And Dominic, we're going to see Giselle here. Giselle's going to bring us the next bit of food. What does she have for us?
Oh,
Giselle,
yeah.
can you grab a set of headphones that Joe had? There you go. We're going to put this over there for you to pull out of there when you get done. So, hi, Giselle. Thank you for bringing us some food.
Of course. It was my pleasure.
Tell us what you are. Tell us what this, man.
So that's going to be our smoked brisket burnt ends melt with a side of fries.
Bro.
So that's going to be our slow roasted brisket. It's going to have a layer of cheddar cheese, a layer of bacon jam on top, and then toasted on white bread. I think it's the perfect mixture of sweet and savory.
I want to know what bacon jam is.
So it's going to be like a caramelized bacon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
Has
Yeah,
that little
so
sweet.
when we make the bacon jam, it's so when you just ate that estate burger, there was that red onion marmalade on there.
Yeah.
So the way we make that bacon jam, it's that red onion marmalade and then roasted bacon that's chopped and then a little bit of bacon fat that we put in there as well, and we mix it all together in the food processor until it makes like a jam.
I cook as much with bacon fat as I do with butter.
Yeah.
And butter makes everything better.
Yeah.
But bacon fat, it's a secret
There's a richness,
ingredient in
little salty,
in
little
some
richness.
things that you just don't even think was coming, and it just adds that little.
So is this your favorite?
Yeah, it is going to be my most popularly ordered item.
Yeah.
Really?
I probably sold at least like
Looks at
30.
watch.
Like I'm like trying
30?
to gauge. Yeah, at least tonight.
And how long have you been
Yeah.
here? Tonight.
Like 3 hours.
Man.
Yeah.
That's 10 an hour.
10 an
So
hour.
Now this
you-
place,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Every
Bryce,
table
how much
has
you're
ordered
getting,
one.
but this
Yeah.
restaurant is pretty packed.
It's
How many
very
tables?
full.
How many tables do you have here? 58. How many? Wow.
275.
We seat 275 people. Tables is like 50. It's like 58 tables.
Yeah, I think 58 is
total,
I'm a numbers guy, so I count
somewhere
one.
around there, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're, different sizes and stuff. But if I were to pull...
There goes the horn.
I don't know if you guys can pick that up in the mic.
Absolutely.
I hope it gets picked up.
Absolutely.
But if you were to take, like...
Stay here.
burgers out of our sales mix, right?
Yeah.
We sell so many different types of burgers.
Yes.
That's obviously the thing we sell the most. If you set all that aside, that's the number one selling item outside of all the hamburgers.
Wow. And the French fries,
They're so good.
they're so good.
They're tossed in the salt, pepper, and garlic mixture.
I was going to say, I don't even want to put salt on
You
them.
don't have to.
But there's that place called McDonald's we heard a little bit about, and they do nothing but salt that thing down.
Yeah.
Now, I know the secret behind the potatoes, it goes way back, but these here again,
Delicious.
the right amount of seasoning, nothing overpowering. I could taste the potato. I get the crispness of it.
I'm glad
but
he
there's-
talks a lot so I can eat.
There's that little something to it that just makes it, yeah.
So
Love
good.
that.
I usually recommend the fries or the tater tots for everyone.
Our family's
I
big
love
tater.
tots.
We're tater tot people, man. I'll tell you.
I'm a tot guy.
Tots are good.
But I've not ordered tater tots here. I've had the fries every time, because eating them,
They're addicting.
world's longest fry. These are damn good, aren't they? How long have you been here? Since opening?
Yeah, I started training opening 2 weeks before opening.
What'd you do before this?
I did an internship for hospital administration before that, and then I was working in the restaurant business. I have restaurant managing experience and serving.
Okay.
Bartending, a little
And
bit of
the
everything.
outfits are so cool.
I know.
We're going to talk to Jody later.
Yes,
I
I love
want to talk
her.
to somebody about it all, but I'm going to save it for Jody
Okay.
because I have a little rapport with her, so we're going to bring her back out. Thank you so much for coming,
Yes,
Giselle, and bringing us
of
this great
course.
food. I love that you love your job.
I do.
I love that everybody loves you here.
I love everyone.
When the customers are excited about everything that goes with this whole thing, it's so easy to serve them. I mean, honestly, you could make a mistake and it wouldn't even show because everything else is covered. Everybody else is just elation is going off. So
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Table times. What's the turnaround time for an average table? Are they 30 minutes in? Or are they longer?
It depends on the night and the day, depending. Like tonight, I've had some tables turn in less than 40 minutes. You know,
Yeah.
they're just like in, eat,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I've had a table stay here for like about 2 hours just because they're drinking, they're having a good time.
Yeah,
So
they're
it
enjoying the show, right?
It
I think
depends
they were
on-
hanging out with us.
Yeah, exactly.
It varies. Every customer's different. And everybody's doing different things. Some people come in, they're trying to get a quick lunch in and out.
Yeah.
Some people are coming in, they're hanging out, they're having a good
Yeah.
time for,
It does. It seems
scenery
like a
and
very
stuff.
cool, like, this hangout.
data-
It really is.
does.
It is.
We've all been to restaurants where you feel like you're holding the server up.
Yeah, data.
She's ready to turn the table and get you flipped. And I haven't had that here.
No, the data that we get, like overall averaged out, we can see that stuff every day, and it's about 40 minutes on average. But that's counting in, some of these people that are in and out in under a half an hour.
That's right.
And then some people that are staying here for over an hour, hour
That's
and
right.
a half, and where it all averages out.
Generalize it. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, talk for a second while I bite into this.
As he's got a mouthful. It's funny.
Great segue.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
the same way as a server, right? You go over, you check on people and their food, and
I
every
was
time you
just
go
gonna
over to
say that.
ask them, it's the same time.
I wonder if, like, you got- I always
how's
thought,
it-
like, you guys
everything
over-
tasting great, and they've got,
You're like
they
this.
got a mouthful, and they just, thumbs up, okay, cool.
I know. I always thought, I bet they're just hanging out in the corner waiting for me to take a bite, and then they come over real quick. Hey, how's that? I'm like, oh, yeah, it's really good.
My biggest thing is I'll just like thumbs up and I'll, if they need me, they'll flag me down. If not, they'll give me a quick chewing thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're chewing, they're probably happy.
Exactly. Yes.
So,
Please give this to Bryce.
I
behind
will.
You. I don't want him to starve. He'll charge me more.
Here. Enjoy.
I
it's
got
super
some on
good.
my shirt. All right. Well, thank you for coming over and doing this
Yes,
with us. I
of
really
course.
appreciate
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much for having
Thanks
me
a
on.
ton. Thanks a ton. Dominic, we'll try and wrap this up with you. We'll get back to our show topic. The Mercedes was the first car. What was the coolest car you had?
the coolest car that I had, well, okay, so it varies. So when I stopped racing motorcycles, I got a little bit into, doing other stuff with cars.
Yeah.
And I went a little bit more the route of imports for a little bit. So I had
Nothing wrong with that.
after I got done with trucks, the last truck I had before the one I just bought was a 97 Ford Lightning, which was, it was a cool truck back then.
Yeah, they were.
But you think about it now, like,
Still cool.
yeah, you think about it now, and the prices, you're talking about things going for prices. I was searching, and some of those, off topic here, but some of those were starting to pop up all over the place.
When
for
they're
like
limited production, you just
almost,
they hold their
I'm
own.
seeing them $25,000, $35,000 for those things. It's like,
and that was
they were only made up until like. They were made like 97 to 2000 or something.
Yeah,
they weren't very long.
That's higher than sticker price.
But what's crazy when you look at them now, that was that 5.4 liter
That's right.
Triton, which some people love it. I don't think, but and it was
okay,
and it was
3 valves are
supercharged, and they
horrible.
advertised like 350 wheel horsepower or whatever.
They were fast.
Which, right?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, like I just picked up the one that I got right now is a 3rd gen Coyote with the 10R80, and they're 400 horsepower and they're not supercharged.
Yeah.
Slap a Whipple on those though.
Absolutely.
And now there's 700-800 horsepower trucks are pretty easy to put together on that Coyote platform.
How great is it that major manufacturers are building cars?
Chris is the man.
Are how awesome is it that manufacturers are building cars that they know are going to be torn apart and built up? They're leaving room under a hood to add a Whipple charger.
So there's some Ford dealership car vehicles that are going out in the trucks like that. They're taking
like right now,
like base models, XL, right? Coyote 10-speed, putting a Whipple on it in house
dealership. Yep.
In house, selling them for like $48,000.
Yep.
And you've got a warranted 700 horsepower single cab.
Because if you take it home
short
and do it
bed
yourself,
F-150.
If you take it home and do it yourself, you're going to avoid that warranty. But in house, you're paying for it.
They're doing dealership installs, which I thought
going to hold the warranty.
When I looked at it, I said, I kind of feel like that's what the new Lightning should have been. But
a lot of that, them naming that electric F-150, which I kind of
Tony drove one.
I'm kind of a fan of them. I wish they would have picked a different name because I think that really pissed a lot of people
that name
off.
had a kind of a nostalgia and a certain thing.
I'm not a Ford guy. Right, and so the Lightning doesn't mean as much to me as most Ford guys, especially back in the 90s when I was in high school. That was a huge deal.
Yeah.
And so you're pissing off guys in my era by naming an electric truck a Lightning.
Yeah.
Like, man, come on. Name something else.
So Tony can speak on a little bit. He drove one. And he had a lot of good things to say about, there's some,
cool.
really.
And they're kind of reasonable.
And, a lot of stuff's going electric. How.
I mean, honestly,
I'm sure we all feel different ways about that. Good, bad, indifferent, whatever.
And I've told people this before. I was like, there's a place for me. If I owned like a construction business, I would have a fleet of the base model electric trucks that just plug them in every night. These guys run around town, have no gas.
You don't have oil changes. You don't have there's some of your maintenance costs.
I don't have none of that stuff.
Some of your maintenance costs is lower
and the
on
thing,
that,
but here's the biggest thing between that and a lot of the other electric trucks is those are like $40,000.
Yeah.
For those electric, so I mean, you're paying that, if not more, for the other base model truck.
Which is a lot, some base model
potato
gas vehicles are going to be in there too.
If you're a fleet company, then you're going to go ahead and sell them off every 4 or 5 years. So you're not going to own it to where you have the battery change and everything else.
Yeah.
But knowing that it was a fleet, it's probably maintained well through your fleet because you wanted a dependable vehicle. So somebody's going to be able to buy that used vehicle, knowing where it came from and had the history of it, and that's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal.
No, not at all.
So anyway, way off topic there. So when I got done with the truck, I wanted to get a car. I bought the first year that we had the Subaru, the STI here in the States was 2004. I bought one brand new.
I love the Subaru.
And there wasn't a whole lot available back then, but if I were to go into the things that were done in this car and probably the amount of money that I spent, I had it for like 11 years, and it was a daily driver. I also, I mean, we had, Jesus.
You don't know where to start.
Oh, my God. I mean, it started with some basic bolt-ons.
Yeah.
Up pipe, down pipe, tuning software, which back then was not much. Turbo XS U-Tech was pretty much what was available. Cobb wasn't around yet.
Right.
So it was a lot
Speaking of different language, I mean, I don't know what Cobb is.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a plug-in, like a reflash kind of tuner box.
Yeah.
So what I was doing was basically like on a C++ program that I plugged in to a piggyback ECU, and we basically just lied to sensors to make it do things.
A little longer on time,
what I mean?
A little higher volume flow.
That tuner world.
So if I wanted to change my air-fuel ratio, basically what I'm doing is sending a false signal to the mass airflow sensor that it's getting more air than what it's getting, and it's going to run injector pulses long, things like that.
Does that damage your engine at all?
No.
Not if it's
done right. And I got a little bass tune on it myself, and then I had it professionally dyno tuned several times throughout the process.
And when you want to go further, you can get a bigger throttle body and go from
I know about
30
that.
now 30 millimeter to 34s and stuff.
I'm just not a tuner guy.
No, so I mean, we went from dude. We had a sleeve block.
So you spent
Cosworth heads,
you spent
272 cams, methanol injection, rotate mount,
in a
precision
Subaru.
6262.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all said and done. It was only making like 650 wheel, but
it's huge. because
four
cars are
wheel.
light.
It was
Yeah, and I love the all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
When you get into for me, I'm the Skyline GTR guy.
Yeah,
I'm old school.
So I went to a Nissan after that. I had a 2012 370Z that I did a bunch of stuff on it, and I had an AAM twin turbo kit on that thing. So it had two Borg Warner 57, 56.
Now, how old
I
are
think
you?
They were.
Yeah.
I'm 41.
Okay.
44. Speeding tickets?
Only a couple when I was young.
Yeah, okay.
I don't. No,
Really?
I don't. No, I drive pretty. I drive pretty safe, but I would go. I'd go to the track and get down there.
Yeah, we just did that 2014 Corvette. We put a Pro Charger on it. We went and took it to the dyno, brought it from 482 up to 596, and customer said he wanted me to go test it and everything else. I got out on the shop. I advertised. I don't care. I got up to 168 miles an hour out there on US 1. Balls to the wall. Feels great. He brought it back several months later doing this, took it back to the tuner, redo a couple things. Check engine light came on for a false code off the map sense.
Yeah.
And I took it home that night. I got a speeding ticket on Palm Bay, on Port Malabar Road. The cop pulled up behind me and he said, the reason I pulled you over is because you broke loose in second gear. He said, I don't mind you broke loose in first gear, but you broke loose in second gear. He said, I'm afraid you're already doing 75 miles an hour. I was afraid you're going to wipe somebody out. I'm in a 40-mile-an-hour zone. He did right by it and everything else. I was wrong. But, man, it's hard to stay out of sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, super cool, super cool.
And every once,
we're getting late.
You get into one of those, like, you're merging on the highway and you kind of do a pull, but not like.
No.
Yeah, not a
little third gear pull.
I know. I ride motorcycles now, and it's so hard to stay out of it, man.
It is,
especially on a motorcycle.
Right. All right. Well, I'm gonna let Dominic go.
Yeah, Dominic, I'll let you get back to work.
Yeah, I love and appreciate that you came on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm glad we were able to get it all put together.
Yeah, man. I mean, just from talking to you,
you
sound real passionate about food, man.
He popped in to the restaurant and just sat down and to eat, and we started chatting, and then we kind of this whole thing came together from that conversation.
And here we are.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm glad it worked out.
And Tony says it was fate that you talked to Dominic about, because Dominic was the guy that was interested enough about it to bring it up. It could have just been a hey, something, whatever, put it in the card, totally forgot about it, never really brought it up.
Yeah.
Tony called me off of you dropping the cards, which I asked, and it was flawless.
No, I mean, he's a community guy. I'm a community. We're eye to eye on a lot of things. We have a lot of the same philosophies on business and the things that we do, and it was one of those things that Tony would be into this too. So I'm glad it worked out.
Awesome.
Car community is an awesome community.
Yeah, love it so much, man. Love this restaurant, love the theme, love everything about it. So thanks a ton for being here and doing this with us. Okay.
All right.
Appreciate it. All right.
Thanks.
We're going to get back into this, Chris. We're going to keep talking. You about ready for a bathroom break or anything like that?
No, man. We only got 10, 15 minutes left in the show.
What time is it?
7:45.
Are we going to cut it short then? We started late.
Yeah, we got
7:45.
We got to wrap it up by 8.
Okay. Joe, thanks.
Joe's nice to meet you. Thank you, Joe.
Well then, do we need to Giselle. I think
that's not Giselle.
Oh, it's not. I'm sorry. Oh. Yeah. All right, let's keep going on these restaurants.
Because we have what? Well, because we have another dish coming out, so we'll get Tony out here.
I'm taking this home. They're not going to take that one. I'm going to take that one home. The brisket is great.
All right. We talked about this kind of recap. Thanks, guys, for sticking with us, man. We're live. We bring this to you raw, unedited, obviously unscripted. And we bring it to you, we're authentic. We are who we are. Very limited, if any, editing goes into a lot of this stuff.
But we do
it for you guys, man. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you appreciate it. And if you don't already, hit that like, subscribe. We're so close to 5,000 subscribers, man.
Yeah, we want you to put us over the top, all right?
Awesome.
So if you're watching this and doing this, we really, really want you to hit that like and subscribe. But as much as Chris really wants that from us, I like the comments. This is where we get into the interaction. I obviously talk a lot.
I love the comments.
But I love to get in there and,
I read them
and
all.
find out what you all are trying to build, what you're trying to do, where you get stuck, when you need something. We do Tech Talk. I'm an AC certified master tech. I have an L1 advanced level in drivability and diagnostics. I go way back. I'm a Chevy gearhead. I'm a GM guy. It is what it is. But
turning out to be.
Man, we do love to help people, and I know that there are so many forums to reach out to. This is one that we can talk about your car on here, and we get to learn something from you all, but you all get to learn something from us, and it just washes both ways.
And I do promise, I read every single comment.
Bryce, we lost our monitor. I don't know if that means something to you. I make sure our feed is still good and strong.
We're still live, right? As long as we're still live, it don't matter. But I do. I read every single comment.
Yep.
I won't reply to all of them because some of them are just comments. They're not questions, and nobody's asking for a reply.
Right.
But if you do have a question, it will be read. We will reply to it. So,
yeah, without a
especially
doubt.
for the tech talk questions, right?
Right, and we love to do the Tech Talk. Like I said, it is just a great way to be able to bring something around and do something with that. I want to go ahead and thank the people that support this show because there are many. I want to start out with Dolphin Auto, 6010 South US Highway 1 in Grant, Florida. We're coming up on our 13th anniversary, and we are a mom and pop auto repair shop. We do full collision, full custom exhaust. Hey, you need the car stanced right. You need some wheels. You don't know how big to go. You don't know the offset. We know all that. We also do a lot of restoration work. The restoration work is hard. It's difficult. You got to come in with a very open mind and an open pocketbook. You really do. Depending on what you want.
Be realistic.
Small, but you
be realistic.
God, Chris, that's really I mean, be realistic. Don't think that you're going to get a lot for a little. You're not.
No, you're not.
Everything is expensive. The craftsmanship, the work, everything else.
Yeah, you get what you pay for.
So much.
What you pay.
Thank you, everybody about, well, I'll say right here, automotive, salary. I send these off my cleaners, my rag for the you guys, watching the kids know. And then we started talking about those things right here. This is number 24, my clothing man. But I showed you Right. I love that. Yeah, I love that. Thank you for bringing this to me. And I love this job. You go to a restaurant
top of the bar is
So
frozen.
where everybody sits?
Correct.
Really?
It's amazing.
So it keeps your drink cold.
So it's not like sweating all over.
Look, you've got to say that more.
That's clever. That's so clever.
It's amazing, and it's got the neon lighting that's around it.
I saw the blue neon lighting.
So before you go, you're gonna have to check that out. We got this. It's a rail that goes around the entire bar.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there and you got your beer or whatever you drink. It could be a soda. You put it on that rail, and it's gonna keep your drink cold. I
That's
thought that was the
amazing.
coolest thing. Yeah.
That is very, very
That's amazing.
creative.
I'm
Very-
gonna get some B-roll. I'll show you guys.
Yeah, that is very, very
Yeah.
creative. What's the best thing about the kitchen, Chris? What excites you the most about the kitchen?
What I really like about the kitchen is we make everything fresh. We have 2 or 3 prep people in here every single day, 8 to 10 hours. Like I said, the burgers, they come in and we hand patty them every single day. We're talking about 400 pounds of burgers that we need to portion into 8-ounce patties.
At a third a pound, so you're talking.
Well, we
you're
have half
400
pounds,
well,
and then we have
okay.
5.3 ounce
Okay.
pounds.
Is that pretty good over there,
So it's
Bryce?
different.
Munching down.
Yeah.
You could just give me a thumbs up.
It's good pork.
and then, Jody brought out that nacho. It's got the bourbon barbecue sauce. That's homemade. It's actually made with bourbon in it, and we cook it off, and that's where it gets that.
I'm a bourbon
flavor.
guy. I'm a bourbon cigar guy for sure.
Yeah, so you can kind of taste that flavor in there. So just making everything homemade from scratch is kind of old school, but it's new for this company because it's innovative. It's very innovative.
Yeah.
All the old companies that I worked for, everything came in a bag, came in frozen.
Yeah.
And I understand that aspect because it's for consistency. When you have, say, 700-800 restaurants,
It's easy.
and it's consistent. So here we have recipes. We've got, technology where you can look up recipes on an iPad. It's called the Bin, and whoever's making a recipe, you bring up that recipe every single day. Make sure you're following the recipes and adherent. So
Right. Yeah. I wanna. Before you go, you know this guy over here?
Tony.
Yeah. No. You know this guy here,
Heck
Lonnie?
yeah, I know.
So Lonnie, come here for a minute. Lonnie, come here for a
I
minute.
know Lonnie.
Can you turn these on, Bryce, for Lonnie? I'm gonna ask Lonnie to sit down. Lonnie is like the redheaded stepchild of Ford's Garage. Tony, you know that's true, right? He's like the redheaded stepchild of Ford's Garage. Yeah.
Here, slide.
Somebody's got to
closer
be
you.
one.
We met.
No, he's cut off. So
You're split screen. Look at your split screen. There you go. Get over that way. There you
That
go.
way? All right.
So,
go to Chris.
is he over there? No,
There you go. There you go. Perfect.
He's going to slide something your way a little bit. There you go. So real quick, we met you the other day when we went for a meeting with Tony. It was awesome to meet you.
Absolutely. You guys as well.
We started talking a lot about cars.
Yes.
And you've got a history with them.
Absolutely.
Memorabilia of them. A lot of stuff goes on through this. What brings you back to this place? Forget that you like Tony. Forget that you guys hit it off, that you know him. What do you come here for as a customer? I mean, because you're spending money.
Absolutely.
They're not comping your meals because you're a pretty face and all this. So what brings you to Ford's Garage?
Brings me to Ford's Garage. The atmosphere, people, the staff, amazing. Probably one of the best places in Vieira. Come here all the time. I make new friends. Memorabilia around here is great. The staff is very attentive. The food is amazing and never had a bad meal. Going back when this place opened up, grand opening, I was here, and that's
Why? Why were you here? I mean, do you go to restaurant grand opening?
I thought not typically.
Okay.
I came here and it looked interesting. I saw the name Ford on it. I'm like, I've never heard of that.
Were you driving by, seeing them put it together? Did you
Yes.
come by?
Yes.
And all of a sudden, a car comes off of something. They're putting a car out front, and then
Sure.
another car, and just it kind of intrigued you and brought you in.
I watched it being built. I live across the street. And,
Okay. Don't tell people that. We got stalkers.
All right. Oh, hey. I'm not giving you my address.
What's your
people.
favorite food here?
So I had the brisket sandwich today.
I did too.
So did
The
we.
brisket sandwich is amazing.
It's amazing.
The
Yeah.
other thing that's really good is the meatloaf.
I had that.
Meatloaf is very good.
I only ate a third of it. I brought it back. I had the most incredible lunch the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, bang! And I had it with tater tots.
Yep.
The French fries I talked about earlier are stellar. I love how they're cooked, they're prepared. We talked about Joe is here and the McDonald's thing and how much salt they put on stuff.
Sure.
And I didn't even want to salt them. They just taste so fresh,
Yep.
so strong. I mean, and sitting here 20 minutes, still crisp, going to break off. And I just love the product.
Sure.
All this stuff that you talk about. Take care, George. Thank you. You came in and I said, what do you like about this place? You didn't even mention the food. 5 things you said and you didn't even talk about the quality of the food. We know the quality of food because our faces can't lie. We're here. We're happy.
I'm full.
We're doing this.
Listen, I've never been to another restaurant where you can sit at a bar and they have ice on the top of it.
He was just telling us. I
Put
didn't know
beer
about
on
it.
it.
He was just telling us.
You drink cold.
Yeah.
How amazing.
So I've got a shirt over here that I'd like to present you with, but it doesn't come cheap.
All right.
I've got a question. Chris has got a question. You got a question, Chris? I don't want to
have a
see if he's
question.
going to pull a rabbit out of his hat and give us a good answer. So
Should it be a toss-up question, like an easy question?
no, not this guy.
Yeah.
No.
No, he wants it hard.
All right.
He wants it hard.
Let's see.
It's a Ford question.
All right, let's.
What was Ford's first sports car?
Shelby.
Nope.
No.
It was a GT40.
Yep.
GT40.
GT.
That was, and they raced it in 1964. Same year as the Mustang came out. It was a GT40. But that's okay. You still get a T-shirt anyway.
Yeah.
Did you guys already ask this question about what is the
That's way too big for you.
the best-selling vehicle of all time? Did you already ask that question?
We have not asked that question.
I
Do
have
you know
not.
the answer?
I think I absolutely do.
Okay.
Can I say it?
You
Yeah.
can.
The F-Series pickup truck.
You're absolutely
right.
correct.
I mean,
That's right.
because everyone, local government, big government, all their fleet cars are F-150s or any kind of F-150 or 250s, and they all use them.
Yeah, Ford is a fleet service machine.
Right.
They were you could buy them with an inline six back in the day. You could buy them with sixes. You could buy them with eights. You could buy them with a couple different eights. It depended on what you wanted.
Right.
The 4x4s are huge sellers through fleet systems. Here in Florida, probably more 2x4s because we don't have the need for 4x4 as much. But up north, the 4x4 Ford F-150 is synonymous with people owning them 30 years plus and all that stuff. So incredible. So all right, we're going to start winding the show down. So, Chris, thanks for coming here.
Thank you, guys.
and
Appreciate it.
sharing
Thank you very
everything with us.
It's great to meet both of you.
Lonnie, love
Good
having you
seeing
on
you,
the
Lonnie.
show, brother.
Come
Thanks
down
for
to
coming
Ford's
by.
Garage, everybody.
I know without a doubt we're going to see you around.
Absolutely.
I know without a doubt. So,
Everybody, come down
Yeah.
to Ford's Garage.
Come say hi to Lonnie.
You will never.
yeah, if you walk
ever
in here and you
have a
see
bad
him,
time here.
ask him to buy you a drink. He'll do it. Tony
It's
told
not-
me
it's not if you
he's a
see
happy
him.
guy and he loves to meet people and buy drinks.
He's
for
the
people.
norm of Ford's Garage.
I like to meet people. We don't know about the buying the drink
Oh,
part.
stop it. He's just being polite, everybody. That's Lonnie. So,
Yeah.
Chris, thanks a ton, brother. Great to meet you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
All right.
Thanks.
So, Chris, we're gonna. I want to wrap up.
kinda,
I don't want to end the show without getting back into this.
Well,
We've talked a lot
I'll
of
tell
side
you what,
stuff.
live does what live does.
It does.
I can't edit this and make it look pretty or
Nope.
hide the
Nope.
flaws because we are who we are.
But let's go through a
But I
half
want to
dozen.
let's
yeah.
recap this
Yeah.
real quick.
I want like a half dozen.
For those
points.
of you that stuck around, bless your heart.
yeah, love you, brother. Love you guys.
We'll recap it. So the whole pitfalls of restoring a car, right? And you had some stories that you've seen, but starting from the top, not picking the right car, not the right donor car, the right car to start off with. Trying to save a buck. Oh, this one was $3,000 versus the $4,000 one.
Yeah.
Without spending that extra $1,000 on the right donor car could probably save you $5,000 or $6,000 in your restoration. Overestimating your skill level, saying, "Oh, I can do this. I don't have to pay somebody to do it." Let's be honest with yourself. I mean, truly be honest with yourself. Poor planning, not as far as like what you're going to put in the car, how you're going to build the car, the storage, like we talked about. Where you're going to put your parts, when you're order your parts, where you're going to order them from. Don't go cheap. I'm telling you right now, if you buy cheap parts, you're going to pay for that. You may not pay for it that month, but you are definitely going to pay for that.
Product review is something that you must spend time with.
Yeah, and I don't. This is going to sound very biased, and it's not. Buy something made in America. I'm going to tell you right now, man, unless it's a very reputable company that's made overseas, buy something made in America. The quality is just so much higher. Yeah, you're probably going to pay an extra $20, $30 for it.
Worth it.
But that $20, $30 is going to save you having to buy another part and then having to replace that part that you saved $20, $30 on eBay. I'm telling you from firsthand experience, I will try to find the best deals. You've seen the deals that I find. But I buy stuff that's made in America if it's available. Do that. But like the planning, you talk about interior, right? And then there's other things we didn't even get the chance to talk about, and that's upgrading things that don't need to be upgraded. Like, I've said it. I'm gonna swap out my rear drum brakes to rear
discs.
To rear discs.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
It's not a race car.
Unless it is,
great.
yeah. If you don't need it for stopping power,
Well,
you're doing it for
planning.
show.
This is planning. So what are you building? Are you building a race car? Yeah, then absolutely do it. If you're building a daily driver, you just want a cool classic to drive around like I do with my truck, I don't need it. The drum brakes stop just great. I got discs in the front. I don't need to spend that money to make that change, right? Interior, man, those are expensive. Thankfully, I did that. I didn't overestimate my skill level. I did my own interior, which came out okay. I'm sure a professional would have done a lot better job, but not bad for my but I do want to end on a high note. And this is the number one thing that I would say about when you get into restoring a car. And the reason why we see so many projects on Facebook Marketplace that are given up is people forget why you're doing it. Why did you start that restoration? What was it that made you say, I want that car? I can see myself driving that cool 68, whatever it is, or that cool 95 Camaro, whatever it is. Don't forget why you did it. Keep that motivation.
Most of our customers come to us that grew up with this. They saw this. They wanted this forever. They're finally at a point in their life where they can afford it and have the time to do this and what have you.
Absolutely.
I don't know the percentage of people that build their own versus, if you go to a car show and there's 100 hot cars there, is it 50% that people have built these themselves and 50% that they bought them built because they're just not a wrench or what have you? I don't know. I guess that's somewhere we want to explore maybe down the road.
This goes back to being honest with yourself. We did an episode a couple weeks ago where we said, it's cheaper to buy than build. And it 1,000% is.
Wow.
1,000% is. And here's why are you doing it? Are you wanting to build your own car? Is that why you're doing it?
Right.
Then, buy and do the whole process. If you just want to drive around.
You're going to cut yourself when you do it.
Yeah,
that's all right.
A bunch of times. But if you're just wanting to drive around, I love those C3 Corvettes, right? I really just want to drive around in it, and I don't want to deal with the problem. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And don't let anybody else tell you otherwise.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with buying what you want and then driving around in it tomorrow. If you see a cool 68 Camaro that's $30,000 and it's daily drivable now, do it, bro.
Yeah.
Don't tell nobody. Don't listen to nobody else.
Yeah.
It's your money.
But when you get into it, you've really got to look. It almost pays you to draw a concept of what you want, because when you get to the wheels, when you get to other things, you're going to really want to know what your thought process is. Don't underthink this, Chris. Don't go in and say, well, I want to do this, unless you're just going to do this and stop. But if you're going to start in on the engine, don't hey, while it's there, start doing this, because then we didn't have time to plan as a shop, and then you're going to get frustrated that we aren't working on it for that week because now we've stopped to order stuff and you're out of the queue. So it's important to know coming in, have a list made.
Have a plan. Have a plan.
When I met you, and I love that I did, and I appreciate the Lord so much for putting you into my life. I really do, Chris. But when I met you, you found me through Marketplace with an engine.
Yep.
And that was because Pearl, the motor wasn't going to be great for what you had.
Well, I thought it was a 305, and I wasn't going to rebuild a 305.
No, it turned out it was a 400.
It was a 400 small block.
Right.
Which I would have rebuilt that, but I didn't know.
But now you've got the motor in there. You've got the transmission done. Now you've got dual tanks. There's an issue with that we've had. You started lining the garage up with parts, and you said, Kenny, I want to bring in the shop. What are we going to do and bring a shop? I'm almost there. So you started planning with our shop to bring it in a couple months, knowing that your budget was going to let you complete that before you got there. And you said, I want to do shorty headers. Okay, we also want to upgrade the suspension, but I also want to do this. Well, the suspension can come along with the headers because we're going to be there. We're going to be in the engine bay.
That's absolutely what I did.
And if you're going to take the suspension apart, now we've got better hands to get into the manifolds, the headers, and all that stuff.
And that's what I was like, okay, if I'm changing up, and I did change the upper and lower control arms in Pearl. And I was like, all right, so the control arms are coming out. What else is in here that is easily accessible now that there's no control arms, there's no suspension in the way? What else is easy? And I end up getting new rotors, new calipers, the whole everything in there.
But we stayed on the front half of the truck.
Yeah, pretty much, yep.
And that was just the way it went. And
it was very easy, very smooth. We were done in no time.
Yeah, and because you bought quality stuff.
Yep.
When you left the shop, you got up 70, 75 pretty quick, and you said, man, what
so
a
different.
difference.
Different. So I had the original 80 suspension, and I would do about 65, 70. You start getting that floating sensation, like you did back in the day. Well, there was no front sway bar or anything like that on it back then, and so put a sway bar.
Tony, you're saying goodbye. Hey, thank you so much. We'll talk tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely. Love the hell out of you, brother. Thank you so much for giving us this place.
But yeah, there was no sway bar. We installed the sway bar, new control arms, new brakes, new everything. And I was doing 75, and I felt planted to the ground. It was a huge difference.
Now, Chris, he went out and got him some wheels and tires, and he stole them at $800. And I'm not even kidding you. Maybe they were discontinued. I don't know, but you took a chance.
There was a discount, yeah.
You took a chance. You came out.
But I bought it from a reputable dealer.
That's the point.
I bought it from Holly. So
that's right. And you can't. I mean, that's a huge name.
Yeah.
And so the product was right when it came.
And they were Halibran wheels.
Yeah.
Which is another good name.
That's right.
So
but you were able to shop. You weren't in a rush.
Nope.
You know, I'm going to go to the calendar and buy these today. It was all about researching your list, making a list, researching it, and then letting it happen. And when I met Chris, one of the biggest things that he did with me was he kept coming out of the woodwork saying ROI, ROI, ROI. I'm like, who is this? Who is this ROI? You know, and it's return on investment.
Yep.
And that's big to a lot of people.
It is.
Because if you get underwater in a truck or a car, then you own that. And what are you going to do with it? You're going to give it to a kid? Now, that's great. It's going to stay in the family. I'm not worried about it. If you're doing this for anything that you think you're going to enjoy for a few years and flip, ROI is an important word to know.
You better think about that.
You really need to.
But well, we're not going to hold you guys hostage anymore. If you've hung out here, man, we appreciate it. We could not tell you how much we appreciate you hanging out with us. First time outside of the studio. This is amazing. Ford's Garage has been amazing to us. Everybody here has been amazing to us. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Bryce, thank you so much for all the technical.
Yeah, kudos
I wish
to
you guys
our producer.
could see Bryce's desk over there. It's full of wires.
It is loaded up, and he has done a phenomenal job on a short time frame to get us looking very, very good, and we appreciate it. So to everybody out there, as Chris said, thank you so much for tuning in. We are here because we love to do this, but we're here for you guys. So it is important that you give us a comment. It is all about the like and subscribe as far as, building the brand and all that. But it's communication with you guys. We go to Facebook, we go to our groups, we see all the stuff that's going on. But when you reach out to us, it lets us know that we've made a difference in somebody's part of the day or their life with their car, their build, and that you maybe got a question or a story to tell us. We do love them.